பாடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிட்டம். பொய்கண்டாருக்கான புனிதமெனும் மத்துவித மெய்கண்ட நாதன் அருள் மேவுநாள் என்னாள். திருச்சிட்டம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் பெண்ணொரு ஆனாய் போற்றி, மராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலையம் அண்ணா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெரும் கருணையினாலே கத்தார் அன்புடைய சரவணன் தம்பதியினுடைய மிகச்சிறந்த ஏற்பாட்டின்படி த ஃபிலாசபி ஆஃப் சைவ சித்தாந்தம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் சைவ சித்தாந்த உண்மைகளை ஆங்கிலத்திலே உரை செய்வதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. த ஃபிலாசபி ஆஃப் சைவ சித்தாந்தம் இஸ் not known to many people in the world. That we have to accept. It is not very popular. It should be popular. It should have been popular. But the fact is, it is not popular, not even in India. It is known only to a certain sector of people in Tamil Nadu. But it has been praised by the leading philosophy researchers that it is the complete philosophy in the world. It is the complete philosophy. Dr. Radhakrishnan has mentioned that the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham is logical and can explain many questions about God and the soul in this world. There are three basic entities in Saiva Sidhdhantham. They don't have a beginning and they don't have an ending at all. Which doesn't have a beginning will not have an ending. Why we die? Because we have a date of birth. We enter this world on a certain date and we have to leave this world on a predetermined date. You are not allowed to reside here. You are not allowed to live here. You are not allowed to indulge in experiencing this world after a certain time. Your life is limited as far as in this world is concerned. That doesn't mean soul has a date of birth and a date of death. Soul never dies. It ever exists. In the basic three entities, the God or the Almighty, the soul, and the darkness are the basic three entities. Along with this, we consider another two. One is called Maya, another one is called Kanmam. These two are inert powers under the possession of Lord Shiva or the Almighty, which are used to liberate the souls from the never-ending sufferings of the souls. Souls suffered, and they are going to suffer if they are going to continue their lives in this world. World is having nothing but sorrows and sufferings to offer. That we must understand. If the soul is very much inclined to live in this world, it is continuously having births. It is brought back again and again. If the soul really feels that the life in this earth is not worthy enough, it's a collection of sufferings. If it understands the truth, then it will not come back to this world once again. Because God doesn't give anything against the will of the soul. Whatever we get this world, whatever we get in this world, are those we were willing them once upon a time. We are wishing something to achieve. We may not be successful in achieving it, but God remembers it and He gives it after a certain time to the soul to enjoy. Of course, soul thinks that the enjoyment will continue, but it is not so. It is also time limited. Either the suffering or the things you are enjoying, they have a terminal date. Everything is destined to last for a certain period. Your youthness, your childhood, everything was limited to a certain time. Now, likewise, in the old age, you must understand that we have passed through a lot of phases and we have come to the last stage and we have to leave this world one day or other. So at that time, at least at that time, the soul should think why we have come, what we are supposed to do, and what we have actually done. Whether our lives are meaningful, whether our actions are helpful to others. Likewise, it may ask so many questions. The Almighty has given the power of reasoning to the soul. Tiger will not reason. Elephant will not reason out. But souls, they should reason out. The Almighty wants to remove the darkness in the wisdom of the soul, and it needs the cooperation of the soul. The Almighty needs the cooperation of the soul. He doesn't expect any acknowledgement from the soul. He doesn't expect any thanks from the soul. But the Almighty expects the soul to come out of the darkness, understanding the help extended by the Almighty. Souls take births, innumerable births. What Arnayanatha says, Ezhugadal Manalai Alavadi Nadiyo. You can count the granules of the sand in the 7 oceans, but you cannot count the number of births you have taken. Think of it. Imagine how long the process is going on. Still, we don't understand. Then you think the power of the darkness in your wisdom. So much of efforts have been put forth by the Almighty to help the soul to come out of the darkness. See, by the power, by the mercy, by the bliss, everything God may possess, but one thing is lacking on our side is that the cooperation of the soul. That is very important. Doctor may be efficient, doctor may be professional, doctor may have beautiful and powerful medicines, whatever may be, but the patient should cooperate to get out of the sickness. Likewise, the souls are not cooperating. That is why they don't understand. So many souls in this world, they don't understand why they have come to this world at all. The whole human life is being wasted. The dislikes and dislikes never change. It should change. You just think of our likes and dislikes in our childhood. You just think of the likes and dislikes when we have grown up as an adult. Just think of the likes and dislikes at the old age. Do you think there are much changes in them? No. The likes and dislikes never change throughout the life. You like for something, you dislike something, they are offered, they are taken away from you. You worry about the things taken away from you. You are longing for the things you have lost. And you never give thought about the Almighty who has helped you throughout this life and throughout your birth. If you are not able to understand the help extended in this birth, how are you going to understand the help extended throughout the cycle of birth? See, unless otherwise you give a thought about the Almighty in this birth, this has been given for you to understand His help. And only when you understand God properly, you will utilize His tools offered properly. You will utilize His help properly. So you must understand God. You must understand His project. You must understand His motive. Unless otherwise you understand them, you cannot get the benefit out of this life. So the Almighty expects you to cooperate with Him to get yourself cured. Okay, the soul with the darkness in the wisdom, suffering like anything, the sightless child, the sightless infant, being immersed in the darkness, suffering. Likewise, the soul is suffering in the darkness of the anavam, impurity, and it suffers and suffers like anything. God has come forward to offer the tools. He offered the tools to make the soul active. Unless otherwise the soul made active, it will not try itself. So many souls have utilized the tools properly and they have come out of the sufferings. They have been liberated from the claws of the Anava. The cruel grip of the Anava. The souls are not able to utilize the tools offered by the Lord to them properly. So they live here, they suffer here, they live here. Again they are coming back in a different birth, forgetting everything that happened to them in the previous births, start afresh, again suffering, again willing something in this world, dying one day or other, and leaving the body here itself. So the cycle of these lives are going on. So the Almighty expects the soul to understand its coming. Then only before it leaves this world, it will complete its task. So what are we going to achieve? What are we supposed to do? What the Almighty expects us. The Almighty, what expects in return towards its help? Without asking, it has given so much of help. Without submitting, it has offered so much of things. So many things in this world, in this life. You just think of the materialistic life. You have prayed for so many things. You have been given. You have been offered. You ask for something again and again. They are being given. Some of them are refused. But most of them are given. You enjoy them. Do you understand the help extended by the God? And stop asking. Have you ever asked the God, whatever being good, please give me. Otherwise, don't give me, even if I ask. Have you ever made such a prayer to Him? We ask for a certain thing. We insist for that. We get it. We suffer out of the thing we have asked for. Those are the things going on. So the Almighty expects the soul understanding the helps extended by God, and should decide that I will not ask anything from the Almighty. Almighty knows what I want better than me. What I want, God knows better than me. Do we believe Him like that? So the Almighty expects the soul to completely understand it, to completely submit itself, surrender itself to the Almighty, and make up the mind that whatever I get from God, I will accept and I will live with it, and I will expect the Almighty to shower His mercy upon me. Some or other, we have to leave this world one day or other. Where are we going to be put up? We do not know. Where our soul resides, we do not know. Where will it be before taking the next birth? We do not know. So many things are not known. Can the science explain what happens to the soul after it leaves the body? Of course, science you should accept. There is a soul. It can explain how the body functions, how the sight is affected, how the hearing is achieved, how the tastes are affected. So many things it can explain. But we cannot ask why the soul is so ungrateful. Can the science explain? So somebody has helped. The soul forgets. Not only the sin of forgetting it, but doing, I don't want to say. It completely forgets and doing a lot of harms to the people who have done good to them. Why the behavior? How can we explain the behavior? The behavior of the body. If you are attributing everything to the body, what does it is joyful? What is it? Suffering? Which one is suffering? Except the soul. Soul is suffering. Soul is enjoying. Soul is behaving. Not the body. Through the body, the soul is active, executing all these deeds. Science can explain how the sight is affected, but can it explain how the soul behaves? Why the soul should behave ungrateful to the people who have extended, help to them? For example, can the science explain the soul should be grateful to their parents? All the souls should be grateful to the parents because parents taken so much of pains to bring them up. Science cannot explain all these things. Medical science can explain why your stomach pains, why you have a poor sight, why you have a problem in your breathing. All these things can be explained by the science. But cannot explain why you are getting angry with your loved ones. It cannot explain. So the soul is made up of all sorts of feelings. Made up of feelings. The feelings are out of the likes and dislikes. The likes and dislikes are the basic quality of the soul. The soul likes something, dislikes something. Only because of this differentiation, only because of this different attitude, it suffers. So the Almighty expects the soul to be balanced in its life. So the Almighty gives the tools, gives this life, gives this total sufferings and enjoyments, all these things in this life. What is the final expectation? Is the soul should come to a stage that it will treat the joy and the suffering on the same scale, at par. If it can treat the joy and if it can treat the suffering at par, then it has come to the balanced state of mind. Can the science explain how the balanced state of mind can be achieved? No. Only by our mentors, their sayings, their songs. Only through going through them, only by chanting them, only by praying, you will be able to achieve this state. Once you try to treat the joyful things and the sufferings at par, then you have come to the balanced state and you are ready to approach the God and you are on the right track. So this is the indication Almighty takes. So soul is made up of likes and dislikes. Because of the likes and dislikes, it takes birth. It again suffers. It enjoys something. And again it takes birth. The likes and dislikes are going on. Then there comes a stage where the soul understands the theory of life, the help of God, the real motive of the life, it understands, and it comes to a final decision that my suffering is due to my imbalanced state of mind. The balanced state of the soul It is in Tamil. It is called Irivinai Oppu. Irivinai Oppu. Irivinai Oppu means good deeds and bad deeds. Irivinai, Nalvinai, Thivinai. Getting good out of the good deeds, getting bad out of the bad things, bad deeds. You are suffering because of the bad deeds you have committed in the previous birth. You are enjoying something because of your deeds in the previous birth. Understanding that only because of my deeds I am receiving the sufferings or the joyful things, enjoyments, only because of my deeds in the previous birth. So understanding these things, why don't myself correct these things in this life? I will just treat my likes and dislikes away from my routine life. I will not like anything, I will not dislike anything. Whatever comes to me, I will accept it as that of gift of the God. Even if it is a suffering thing that God has given to me, this, even if it is an enjoyment, yes, God has given to me. There is nothing to be enjoyed in this enjoyment. There is nothing to be painful in this suffering. Okay, if I start treating the two things at par, then I am on the right track, and God will think that he has come to the right track and he has been put on the right track. Now let us give him the further steps. There are 3 steps in the Saiva Sidhdhantham. The soul has to take 3 steps. The soul has to take. Irivinai Oppu, Malabari Bhagam, Sattiri Bhagam. Those 3 are offered by the Almighty. For whom? For the matured souls. So the maturity is gauged. How? If the soul starts chanting so many songs, the maturity is found out. If the soul is doing so many things good, the maturity is found out. The soul doing lot of pujas, okay, the maturity has come. Can you say? Performance of lot of prayers, performance of lot of pujas. No. No, not out of those things the maturity is gauged. The maturity is gauged. How do you treat the sufferings and the enjoyments? Those are coming to your life. The maturity depends how you like the enjoyments, how you dislike the sufferings. How do you take them? Are you taking them at par? Then the maturity comes. So we can conclude like this. All your prayers, all your pujas, everything should have a result towards this Irivinai Oppu. Irivinai Oppu means treating the enjoyment, treating the suffering at par, on the same scale. 2 pans of a balance. 2 pans of a balance. You think of them. If the center pointer is pointing towards the static point, you say that the pans are balanced. So the treatment, it doesn't mean that you will not receive any suffering. You will receive suffering, but you are not suffering out of the suffering. You will not suffer. It may come. Our mentors, our great people treat only like this, and they never suffer. They never suffered. Okay, so the first step is irivine oppu. That is, your likes and dislikes vanish away. You don't like something. If you like somebody, that you are going to dislike somebody. You never dislike anybody. You never like anybody. You are not liking anybody means it doesn't mean that you are going to do harm to him. It's not like that. Don't have any special attachment to anybody. It means like that. I don't like anybody because I don't have any attachment towards him. I don't I don't like him. Suppose I say I don't like him. Then you are having hatred towards him. No hate, no likes. It may be very difficult. I am saying it very easily. Do you think that it can be achieved very easily? No, it is a very long process. It is a very long process. Somebody is doing good to us, we used to like them. Somebody is doing bad things to us, then we don't like them, we dislike them. It is our nature, it is everybody's nature. But if you start considering the good and bad on the same scale, on the same scale, if you are going to weigh the likes and dislikes of the goods and bads, everything. This is called the irivane oppu. Avirodha jnanam. This is a kind of wisdom. This is a kind of wisdom. Don't have any attachment towards anybody. Since you don't have attachment, don't dislike them. Liking and disliking, you have in between these two states, there is a balanced state. So the first step is cultivate a habit of making your likes and dislikes vanish away, and you have an approach. You have an approach. Whatever you receive, you must have an approach. Whatever you receive, you think it has been gifted by God. It has come to you only with the knowledge of God. Nothing comes to you without the knowledge of God. If a suffering comes to you, understand, this has come to me with the knowledge of God. God has given this to me. But I will get the power from Him to win this suffering, to win over this, to pass over this. Let it come. But I am having the help of God. I am having the support of God. That the Almighty is on my side. Only with His knowledge it has come to me. But He will give the power to withstand. He will definitely give. That approach should be there. We should not mourn, we should not weep, we should not blame the God, we should not blame somebody, we should not be going on blaming ourselves. We should not do like that. Never blame for your suffering anybody. உற்ற நோய் நோன்றல் உயிர்க்கு உருகன் செய்யாமை அற்றே தவத்திற்கு திருவள்ளுவர் says. Never blame anybody. If at all anybody is to be blamed, it is you. Because whatever you receive, it is only out of your deed it has come to you. You have done it some time before in the previous bus. It got matured and it is approaching you. So it is coming to you with the approval and knowledge of Lord Shiva. He is the one responsible for its suffering or enjoyment. Anything may be. It has reached you only because of Him. Otherwise, it cannot come to you by itself. It is an inner thing. You are not going to pick it up. So you have not picked it. You have not picked it. It didn't come by itself. Then how you got it? How you got it? Only by the approval, only by the knowledge of Lord. It approached you. It came to you for your experience. You experience it. So people who had the balanced mind will accept everything. You just think of Manivasagar. He has been punished by the Pandyan king because he signed the treasury and took some money for purchase of horses. On the way, he was forced to leave the money with the officers accompanying him. He left the money with them, and he was called by the Lordship, by the mentor, by his mentor, who called him, who preached him, who blessed him, and after that blessing, he just forgot the purpose for which he came with the money. In the meantime, the money vanished away. Most probably the officers would have swindled away the money. We cannot accept that out of the money Manivasagar built the temple. We cannot believe it. Manivasagar will not do like that. Money meant for purchase of horses cannot be spent on a temple. No sincere officer, no honest minister will do like that. This is that could have been a misappropriation of funds. No responsible officer will never do that. And Manikavasagar has not done that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. But money was swindled away by the officers who were being entrusted with the money. But anyway, Manikavasagar signed in the treasury and he was responsible for the money, and Pandyan punished him. All the punishments accepted by Manivasagar. He didn't resist. He accepted all the punishments. Nandre Saivai, Pide Saivai, Nano Idarku Nayagame. That was the approach by Manivasagar. Because he knew whatever comes to me, it has been offered by Lord Shiva. I will accept it. And he will give me the might to face them, to challenge them, to accept them, to experience them, whatever you call. So, the first maturity state, first symbol or first sign of maturity for a soul, the Almighty has set the first mark, the first indication, the first sign. The soul is approaching the goal in the right track. It is coming on the right track. The first sign is Irivini Oppu, treating everything alike. It may be good, it may be bad, but treating them good. Never complaining anybody, never blaming anybody. Some people used to blame God if they are suffering something. Oh, the God has given to me. He is merciless. Yes. No, God has given only the deserving things to you. You deserve that. You must understand. He will not give. Somebody is suffering to you. Somebody's suffering will not be diverted to you. It is your own thing that you are suffering. It is your own thing. Your own deeds result you are suffering. Okay, I told you that there are 3 steps. They may be considered 3 signs. The first sign, the second sign, the third sign, and the God will understand that the soul is ready for receiving our eternal bliss. Okay, it has come to a state of receiving bliss. Our project has come to a rightful stage. God has set every soul in the project. The soul should get the tools. It should be active. It should execute. After execution of the deeds, it should also experience the results. The results are given to them. They experience the results, whether good or bad, joy or suffering. They experience. If their wisdom is a little clear, they will correct themselves, or otherwise they will blame others, and they will do the same mistake again and again, getting the same births again and again, suffering again and again. So the God, the Almighty, never gets tired in giving births to the soul. Without getting tired, without giving up, without abandoning, again and again he is going on giving births to the soul. Soul is taking birth after birth. It's writing examination after examination till he passes the examination. Likewise, the soul should understand one day or other that God is helping me. Only the help is this life. So, what is the first good sign? What is the first good sign? That the soul will escape. The soul will get liberated. The soul is on the right track. It is responding. Doctors will look for good sign when the treatment is going on. They will look for a good sign. Whether the patient is responding. Likewise, God will accept whether the soul is responding, whether it takes the treatment in the right sense, whether it understands the whole project, whether it is decided to cooperate. So the first sign is Iruvinai Oppu, that is treating the joy and suffering at par, resulting out of their deeds. Understanding that I am getting this joy because of my good deed in some birth. I am getting this suffering because of my bad deed or evil done at some previous birth. Okay, I will treat them at par. I will accept. I will not be overjoyed because of the joy. I will not blame because of my suffering. Okay, I will treat them at par and wait for the Lord to offer me His grace, His bliss. So once your attitude goes like this, then the first thing the God Almighty does is nulling away the previous deeds called Sanchidam. Nulling them away. Why should the soul take a birth at all here afterwards? Once the status of soul, wisdom has come to this stage, the first good sign comes means then God will decide no more births will be offered to the soul. The soul has achieved the first result. Artificial ventilator is removed because now the patient is breathing by himself. Now no ventilator is required. Likewise, in the first sign, the state of wisdom has improved, then God will decide the soul need not take any more births. After this birth, let it complete this birth. After this birth, it need not take any more births. The births are caused by the previous deeds, piled up like mountains. They are called Sanjida Vinigal. So those deeds will be nulled away. Those will be those things will be removed, deleted, whatever you call, and they will not have the souls will not have a birth here after the first sign. So the Almighty decides when to stop the birth for the soul. You should be sincere. You should be honest. Don't think that you can cheat the God. Because he doesn't go by word. He doesn't go by action. He goes by the thoughts. So you may be doing so much of prayer, so much of things. You may be saying so much of things. Nandri Saiva, pray Saiva, Nano Idarke, I can also say like Manivasagar. Since I have said, God will be cheated, He will be taken away. He will not be carried away with your words. He will be alert. He knows. Because he assumes, he takes the result only by the thoughts. What you think inside, he knows. Pokkam nikkavar poovum neerum kandu nakku nirpar avar thammai naaniya. Upper Swami says, you may be doing lot of prayers, you may be performing lot of pujas, but God knows the real thought in the background of the prayers and pujas. He wants the sincerity. He wants the honesty in the thoughts. So honesty of your deeds, where it is decided. Sincerity of your deeds, where it is decided. Only in thoughts. If your thoughts are not pure, whatever you do is not accountable. So, by thoughts, the Almighty comes to know that this soul has started treating joys and sufferings at par. It has decided. It clearly knows that everything comes to it is offered only by God. The Almighty knows. Only with the knowledge it has come to me. I will take it. I will face it with the support of the Almighty. Okay, with the support of the Almighty. With the support of the Almighty, I will face them. If you think, God knows, okay, the soul has started thinking in the right track. In the right track, it started moving. Why should it take birth? As far as God is concerned, once the prisoner gets corrected himself, there need not be any more punishment. Any more punishment. That is the theory of God. So no more births. The first sign ensures the arrest of births. Then there comes the second stage, Mala Paribhagam. That is what we are discussing. Mala Paribhagam. Paribhagam means that is all these things are caused by what? Adavam. The darkness, the impurity. Now the impurity level in your wisdom has come down to a very, very low state. Now your wisdom has started thinking by itself without the help of the tools. It has started thinking. It has started to be active with the help of the tools. The patient is able to respirate. The patient is able to breathe without the help of the ventilator. Ventilator removed. Now the patient is able to breathe. Likewise, now if the tools are removed, the soul is able to understand. It is able to think. It is able to be active. It now seeks the bliss of God. It doesn't have a liking over things in the world. It knows it never lasts long. Any joy in this world never lasts long. So it doesn't like that. At the same time, it never dislikes anything. It has come to a balanced state. And in the balanced state, its only wish is to surrender itself to the lotus feet of the Almighty and to be under the cover of Almighty always. Under the cover of Almighty. Always under the cover. Thinking about Him. Doing everything at His mercy. Talking everything about Him. So likewise, Manam, Mozhi, Mei. The thoughts, the words and the actions. All of them are dedicated to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So the wisdom is getting matured. It is slowly is getting maturity. Removal of this darkness is going on. So from darkness it goes to a pure white in the stages of grey. 90% darkness, 80% darkness, 70% darkness means white slowly starting entering, so that the darkness level comes to grey level, dark grey. Likewise it comes the ash color, and then it comes to a pure white. Darkness is completely removed. Darkness is not removed immediately. Even if the darkness is removed, the traces of darkness will be there. Even if the Anavam is removed, that you understand, the traces of Anavam will be there. We have to wait for removal of those traces also. Understand? So likewise, the second state is maturity of the wisdom. Maturity of the wisdom. That is called Malabari Bhagam. Maturity. It was immature previously because of the Anavam. Anavam is slowly removed. Then once the Irivine Oppu comes, Malabari Bhagam is the second state the soul should reach. Malabari Bhagam. You understand what is Malabari Bhagam? Malabari Bhagam means maturity of the wisdom and the removal of the Anavam from the wisdom. Of course, stage by stage. And once it is completely removed, the human wisdom, then nascent human wisdom, or the nascent soul's wisdom, let us not call human, let us call it as soul's wisdom. Human is one of the births it takes. So only because of this human birth, it has come to that stage. It is the nascent wisdom, pure wisdom, removed from the pure. That is the nascent wisdom. That is called Malabari Bhagam, completely removed. At that time, what happens? The third stage comes. The third stage. It has to come. What is it called? It is called Sattinipadam. That is encompassing or covering the nascent, the pure wisdom with the grace of Lord. Entirely covering. Because it should be covered now. It should not get affected by the impurity once again. Sattinipadam means the grace of God comes and covers it fully. That is called the grace of God. Arul Shakti. ஆணவம் மறைத்திருந்தது, இப்போ அருள் வந்து அப்படியே மறைச்சிக்குது, அதை கவர் பண்ணிக்குது. When it was covered fully by the anavam or the darkness, it suffered. Now once it is removed stage by stage, and the grace will cover it completely, encompass it completely. That stage is called Sattinipadam. Now it is ready for enjoyment of God's bliss. So we discussed about the three stages. The first stage is, let me tell them in Tamil first. The first stage is Irivani Oppu. The second stage is Malabari Vaham. The third stage is Sattinipadam. The first stage is achieving the balanced state. Achieving the balanced state. Balanced state of deeds. That is the first stage. Second stage, the maturity of the soul's wisdom. The maturity of the soul's wisdom. That is removal of the darkness 100%. Understand, please understand. Removal of the darkness 100%. That is called Malabari Bhagam. Then the third stage is covering the pure soul's wisdom with the God's Almighty's grace. Once it covers fully, then the soul is very, very secure. Very, very safe. It never takes any bad, it never understands any bad things. It always understands only the Lord. It may be within this world because it has to complete this birth. It has to complete this birth. Now, once the grace covers the entire wisdom, it starts enjoying the bliss of Lord Shiva, even when it is in this body, in this birth. It started enjoying the bliss to a limited extent. They are called Jivan Muttargal. Jivan Muttargal. So the Almighty achieves this, completes this project in three big stages, and He expects their souls to enter into the three stages test and passes, and then gets the bliss of the Almighty. So it is not very easy, or it is not a very simple task. God has taken with the confidence. He confides in us. That is why He has come forward to them. But please understand, He doesn't have any help. He is the sole, only single Padi, God, only Almighty, the only Almighty, helping thousands, crores, innumerable number of souls. So these people, Jivan Muttargal, they will be the agents or the mentors. They will spread the news, they will spread the information, they will spread the messages to the other souls. Other souls. Why He is keeping some people like this in this world? Because His job will be explained, done, and these mentors will be uplifting. These good souls will be uplifting some of the souls. So Sivan Muttargal, they are in this world to help the other souls. Okay, in this session, we just discussed the three big tasks of the Almighty. They are called Irivani Oppu, Malabari Bhagam, Sattinipadam. They are the three big tasks. Big three tasks. So the first sign, second step, third stage, completed stage. And souls are ready for getting the enjoyment or enjoy the bliss of Lord Shiva. Just we have to ask ourselves, where are we? Where do we stand? In what stage we are? We are taking any good things come to us seriously, or whether we are taking some bad things coming to us very seriously, or we depend on God. You give good or bad, I don't care. I am only looking at your grace. I am under the cover of you. Whatever you give, you know, with your knowledge it comes to me. I understand and I will submit, I will surrender everything at your lotus feet. That should be the attitude of our lives in this world. With this, I want to conclude this session. We have to thank our Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravana. They have been doing a lot of spade work, lot of things. For the past 2.5 years or 3 years, they have been struggling to make this project real, and they have been requesting me to deliver the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham in English. At the time of their request, I was at a loss to know how many people would be going to be benefited out of this. I don't understand, but nowadays about 500-600 people are listening to this. I think that they are getting some benefit out of this. Not only grown-up people, children will be attracted towards these simple lectures. They will be able to understand some basic things, because if the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham is narrated in English, those children with the poor knowledge in Tamil will be able to appreciate, and they will be able to get some basic fundamental things in the Saiva Sidhdhantham. They will be educated to a little extent, and it will be base for them to proceed further in the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham later in their life. Okay, their motive will be fulfilled, because their motive is not their motive, the Saravanan couple's motive. It is the motive of Lord Shiva, I believe. He has only made this possible, and we are all to thank him. We are all to thank his mercy. We are all to thank his kindness, and we will worship. We will pray for his guidance, and he will lead us in a right way, and he will give us all the bliss of him to us. Okay, let me conclude this with the chanting of the 5-letter mantra now. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchitrambalam. I pray the Almighty to bestow His grace upon those who have listened to this lecture patiently. Thank you. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.